March 1st, 2021. Hi, my name's Tom Yakopin, and this is the Tom Yakopin Podcast, a.k.a. Yakopinions. Happy Monday. Here we are on the brink of spring, I hope, in western Pennsylvania. Over the weekend, we had some sun and some nice weather. I hope if you live in the area, you got out to enjoy it. If you live somewhere nice like Florida, keep it to yourself until we make it through the doldrums, and then I can enjoy hearing all about the beaches and the fun in the sun. Anyway, so we're excited to, I have a very special guest, one of my favorite people on the planet, Jennifer Marie Yakopin. You'll notice a very, last name corresponds with mine. This is my oldest daughter who, as we have been featuring small business and entrepreneurs throughout, the last month or two, Jen made the transition several years ago into health and beauty, right? And which is a pretty bold, I think I understand some of the challenges that people in your industry face, but it's a bold move, right? Because you're in business for yourself, even though you cut hair with our friend Albert Maley over at Southside Hair, but you're on your own. You're doing your own thing, and you're in charge of your own destiny. You're solving problems for people. So why don't you tell people a little bit about who you are? How did you get into the industry? Where did you train? What are you doing? Why should people seek you out for cut, color, and all of that fun stuff. So talk to me a little bit about, I know the big story, but right. These people don't. So let's have at it.
It's a loaded question for sure, but I always in the past was a server at restaurants, so I was accustomed to working for tips, which is sort of the more effort you put forth, the more tables you take, the more money you get. And when I did try to go work at hourly jobs where I was only getting a set amount per time, it felt very defeating, like almost like it doesn't matter how much effort I put forth, I'm still getting the same amount as everyone else. So to me, it was sort of a logical jump into the same type of industry where I am working for tips and I am providing a service for people, and they, hopefully tip based on how I make them feel and the product and all of that. So in that way, it's very similar. It's something I'm comfortable with, but I'm flying by the seat of my pants in a lot of other ways as a business person. It just became really clear to me that it was something I wanted to do for myself and not for anyone else. So I went into business with Al Maley at Southside Hair, and it's been a journey, but it's been great building the clientele and the people that I've met here. So I enjoy it very much. I enjoy making people feel great and learning as I go.
Yeah. So you, when you hopped into this, I think you lived in Cincinnati at the time, right?
Yes.
And you decided to go to school. Where did you do most of your training at?
At Paul Mitchell, the School of Cincinnati.
Right.
It was honestly one of the best experiences of my life, and this isn't a plug for them, but it was great. It was a great time there. So yeah.
You enjoy, and your sister Audrey, who's also in this, did Audrey went to school with Paul Mitchell also?
She went to Bella Capelli here in PA.
In Pittsburgh.
Yeah, so it's also a Paul Mitchell partner school, which is very cool.
So it must run in the genes then somewhere. This I know the entrepreneurial thing, obviously does, and that. But Audrey really enjoys what she's doing. You seem to really enjoy what you're doing, and Al. It's funny because in a whole other world, I know the Maleys through Frank and my involvement with music, but I've heard nothing but really good things about Al as, a mentor or a partner, somebody, that's a kind soul. So I think you've landed in a great place. And if, and again, I want to get into the nuts and bolts of your specialty and things of that nature, but I think it would be prudent. We'll address it up front, and then Brad will also get your contact information out there. But if people would want to reach out and talk with you or book an appointment, I know they can do it online, but your office, your studio is at 74 Oak Spring Road in Washington, right? Right across from where the old Washington Mall is, if you're going that way. And I've been in there. It's a nice place. It's easy access. You've got off-street free parking in Washington, which is kind of a challenged, you
Truly.
go downtown, it's predatory. I mean, that, God bless her.
meter maid.
Yeah, the lady there, I mean, she's so efficient. I've always wanted to recruit her to sell insurance because she's so good at finding the cars that, just that meter runs out. You seem to get that ticket somehow. But 74 Oak Spring Road, and then your best number for folks to reach out is 724-249-6830. People can text you. I think they can book that way. They can certainly phone you and chat. So you're local. Obviously you cut hair. Mm-hmm. You're beautiful, so you have some semblance of style and what's happening. That's pretty good. I highly doubt people would seek me out, for, so it's good because you're leading by example. But you also seem to really specialize or gravitate to color and some of the other things. So what are some of the things you like to do best? What are some of the problems you like to solve? Mm-hmm. Maybe share some experiences that you've had. I want to hear those great experiences, but I also would love to hear, because I know there's some funny other experiences. So what are some of the things that you love to do? What do you think you're best at? Why would somebody in the tri-state area who needs a haircut, style, color, why would they come to you? What are you doing?
I do love color. I especially love like the illuminated brunettes, and I love balayage, natural, lived-in looking color, but I also like the fun, vibrant colors. That is truly what I like to do. I do not do perms, so just putting that out there. And our salon, or myself, I like to provide, I think I'm very real. I don't know. And I hope that makes people feel comfortable. I never want people to walk in and feel like it's an uptight place to be, or that they are shamed by all these beautiful people walking around and they're just sitting there with wet hair and a cape feeling, on display. Our salon's very homey, so if you're looking for something, super high-end and plush with like hair dryers descending from the ceiling, it's not the place for you. But that's the type of vibe I like to provide. So I love natural, lived-in, real, in general as an aesthetic, both doing hair and in the environment I want to create. So if that helps,
get it.
Yeah.
As a male, I think out of necessity, I've been on the road or something and maybe needed a haircut and waltzed into, maybe a handful of occasions, a style center or a beauty center or whatever, where it was pretty high end. And frankly, I felt weird,
Right. Out of place,
Yeah. A glass of wine. Can we massage your neck? It's like, I'm just really here for, a clipper number 3. Okay. A little off the top, I've got a business. So I would imagine that for women who really are, they're doing a lot of stuff, that they probably can go into certain situations and feel uncomfortable. But I hadn't thought of that. So, in that sense, because I figure all the ladies like the glitz,
Right. You would think, but it's not where I particularly feel comfortable. Right. So, and another thing is I also offer an introvert appointment, which I'm just starting to do that, but I'll ask you if you want an extroverted or an introverted appointment. And if you choose that you'd rather keep your earbuds in and listen to a podcast, like we'll discuss what we're going to do with your hair, and then you can just take your time and listen to or watch what you want. I'll work, because guess what? I don't like to talk all the time either, and that hopefully makes people feel more comfortable. A lot of people might feel pressure to talk with the hairdresser the whole 2 hours that they're there. And when it's someone you don't know, or you've already had a long day on the phone, I just want to offer that service to people too. So just something unique. And there's never a ton of people in there, so it's never going to feel claustrophobic or rushed or anything like that. So.
Nice. How, I would think, and I still believe, of course, that beauty, haircuts, color, things of this nature, very important to people. How people look, men, women, all of us included. We all want to look good. The pandemic, COVID-19, how has that affected you guys, or how has your business made it through that, and how are you rebounding on this side, with the fears maybe of people, and what are you guys doing to provide peace of mind, mitigate risk, cleanliness, things of that nature that folks might want to know?
Right. Well, I think a lot of people might not know that the majority of our training in school, I wouldn't say the majority, but a lot of it is mostly sanitation. And mostly what we test on is sanitation in between clients, new capes and towels, barbicide, all manner of things. So we were already doing those things. I mean, at least we were at our salon. I've stepped that up. Everything gets disinfected in between. I put a fresh mask on in between, things of that nature. And as far as how it affected us, we had to shut down last March, and I had to go toil for. Am I allowed to say the name? Or no,
a big retail store, a big corporation.
Yes, I cashiered there for 6 months to get through.
And God bless you, by the way. You took it in stride.
Yeah.
But okay, but go.
Yeah, and as far as rebounding, I mean, I was afraid that. I have lost a few older clients either to the virus, unfortunately, that never came back, obviously caught it elsewhere, or people that are afraid to come back because of the virus, and I understand that. But I've also gotten an influx of new people who are looking for a new stylist, looking for an opportunity to change, have moved to the area. So my business picked right back up, and I'm super grateful for that. Yeah.
And what are some ways that you are using successful ways to reach the community as far as advertising? Is there any tips or tricks you might want to share that are working well for you to reach out, to tell your story, to gain those clients?
My favorite way, and I'm sure everyone's favorite way of growing, is just the organic word of mouth reference in between people.
Referrals, right?
Honestly, it seems to be the best, because people are like, I like her vibe, I think you'll like it too. And you already come in sort of with a rapport. But I also occasionally boost a Facebook post, and I might put $10 towards it, and they put it, on display for 3 or 4 days. And I've gotten a good amount of results from that.
So awareness. Yeah. I think referrals are always going to be, a great source of business. I mean, if we provide a service for people in my line of work and they're happy with it and they tell somebody and that person calls, it's so easy. I don't have to toil with a lot of the, gaining their trust. So that's fantastic.
Right.
Referrals are the way to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Once you get a nice group of people that you're serving and things of that nature. So you love color, obviously style. What are some experiences that you've had with clients where when everything is said and done, that person they're very happy. Maybe some examples you might share, something that you did that came out better than expected, or positive feedback. Do you mind talking about some of those experiences?
I've had some really incredible experiences with brides. I also like formal styling, makeup, and things like that. So I've had some brides that, teared up when they saw themselves when I did their trial, and just thought, I didn't think I could look that beautiful. And that really makes my day. As far as things turning out better, a few times. I mean, sometimes I was just winging it. Like, I know I need a violet to cancel out this yellow, so I'm going to use this toner. This is the best of my knowledge of chemistry. And it turns out maybe more icy than I expected, and they love it. So, I mean, occasionally I run with it. Like, yeah, I thought you'd like the icier tone, but I wouldn't say that happens a ton. I mean, I just try to put my best into everything that I do. I try to give everybody 100% and let them know also, if you don't like something, please feel free to let me know. I want to be somebody that's open and real to talk with, so that I can correct it if necessary. And I always give 14-day guarantee with cut or color. If you find something within that 2-week period that's, my color is fading unnecessarily fast, this piece is longer than this piece, something's not sitting right, I will always correct it for free. So
nice.
Yeah.
That's very nice. I mean, obviously, if you lop too much hair off, you're going to have
not much you can do.
a hell of a time putting it back on, right? Yeah. So you've had some really now. Have you? And I'm sure every professional does. Have you ever done something where you've thought, "Oh dear Jesus, this is horrible,"
yes.
or way below what I was hoping.
Subpar. Yeah. I've spent hours. Like early on, I would say my first year or two at Salon LA, I was laboring over this hair, just bleaching it for hours and being very specific about the bleach I was using. And after 5.5 hours time, took the foils out and blow dried, and it looked no different than before. None at all. I mean, nothing. And then I had found out that the peroxide that I used had been inactivated because the cap was off. So all the bleach that I was putting on was like not doing anything. And I was just like sweating. And at the end of it, I was like, so none of this worked. And that was terrible.
Knowing you, I mean, I can almost imagine that moment because you care, you know,
Oh,
if
yeah.
you didn't care about people, then, you know, but you do care and you're
Right.
probably having basically a meltdown, right?
Completely, right.
Yeah.
But you're supposed to maintain your composure and all of that, and you don't want to freak them out. And I was like, you're gonna have to come back like another day. So we're closing, and I did absolutely nothing to your hair, like, and you can't charge them for that. So that was a salon that took a hit. I was still working for someone else at the time, and then we can talk about what happened to me.
Oh my God.
I mean, and this is what made me want to be so precise with my hair cutting. And I'm sure that I've done subpar things before, but the cut that I got in cosmetology school was so devastating to me that I thought, whatever I must do to prevent someone from getting up from my chair the way that I feel right now. Like, I have to learn the angles. I have to learn. So I really try to do thorough consultations. How short? Where do you want it to sit? Like, make sure that I know what's going on, because I was straight up scalped. Like,
Oh, I remember it, man. It was horrible,
it was bad.
you know, and
It
that's
was
hard
bad.
for a dad to say to his daughter.
No,
But
yeah,
you-
it was
you know
terrible. I knew it was
Yeah.
terrible. Like, after I was done crying over it, I could only laugh over it. But then I melted my own hair off in cosmetology school, which also gave me a thorough understanding of bleach and the strength of it.
Wow.
As I towel dried my hair, and just there was nothing left.
Wow.
I had to go completely bald. But again, these are mistakes I made on myself, thankfully. You know, so, phew.
Hey, yeah, I think, you know, part of living is learning, and
Yeah.
part of learning is, you know, I mean, I've hit some home runs,
Yep.
and you know what? I've struck out a few times.
Right.
In fact, I've probably struck out more than I've hit the home runs. But it's good to focus on the wins. But you know, you learn, and I know some local cosmetologists have also been very kind. Bobby and that
Yes.
group's, what is it, Salon 11? She was.
Yes.
We had that consult with her. Remember? And so many people seem to be very friendly, kind of like you know, maybe in my industry, I have a lot of associates and friends that I rely on. We share ideas,
Right.
but they were real excited to see you, you know, get up and running here in Western PA. And have you maintained? Do you maintain relationships? Do you do continuing education on ongoing training? And if so, talk to me a little bit about what is required. What are some things that you've done, or some things that you're going to be doing to you know, to continue to grow in the industry?
A lot of classes have halted or stopped because of COVID. A lot of them were hands-on education. But I've taken several balayage classes. Last year I took 2 updo classes. So I do try to maintain education. It's the one field that's not required, like continuing education is not required in Pennsylvania for some reason. But I want to learn more anyways, you know
Right.
what I mean? And as far as staying in touch with Bobby, she's been excellent as far as I've called her about a particular color that was very difficult for me that I could not understand. She gave of herself, came early with me on a Saturday morning to look at it, give her advice.
Wow.
And I mean, that's just above and beyond. She always tells me, come down and watch what we're doing. If you ever want to learn, you know, this extension method or whatever, has always extended that hand to me. And we've done weddings together. Like, they'll call me if they need another person on their updo or
Nice.
makeup team. So yeah, it's been really, really cool.
Really cool.
When I get nervous, my voice quivers. So we'll get that out of the way. Okay. It's quivering.
Well, they always said, your brother told me some while back, he said, Dad, you know, a great podcast should just be super, you know, conversation.
Right.
So just
I don't even know what I'm nervous
just
about.
relax. Yeah. But so what would you say your target market, like where, who do you like to work with the most? You know, young chicks, older ladies, you know, where is Jennifer Marie Yakupin most comfortable? What do you want to build your clientele to look like?
Well, I've always said I want to be a family hairstylist. I want to be the one that's maybe helping you with your baby's first haircut and then does their hair for their prom and helps you for your wedding, whatever the case may be, that the family can come to me. But I would say I have a soft spot for people of my own age. So probably like 30 to 40-year-old women. I feel like we just get each other. So it's easiest to vibe with them. But I have some older clients who are some of my best friends. And I've got some teenage clients who are delightful as well. So I would say primarily females, though.
You don't do men's noggins?
I am capable of it, but just from a business standpoint, a men's haircut doesn't cost as much as a woman's haircut, so I make more money doing color, and so I market to women more. That's just what it is.
Yeah, a guy like me, I go to, and it's no diss on you or Audrey. I go to Great Clips.
Where you don't have to make an appointment.
Boom. Yeah, I get on the app because it's usually for me, it's like, oh, I have a minute, I can get this,
Right.
I would guess it would be very difficult for them to mess it up because there's very little hair left up here.
You'd think, but men's haircuts can be tricky. You can't
really
hide a mistake very easily in a men's haircut. You just have a divot,
Yeah. So cut color. We've nailed down the target market. We've talked about some of your successes and making people feel good. And certainly some of the things that you've laughed about. Anything else as we bring this to a close that you might want to share about why people can trust you for their looks, their beauty, their hair, their cut, their color, and I would certainly I know what kind of person that you are, and I would say if you are looking for an excellent professional, somebody who does care. You have a daughter who's going to the prom, somebody getting married, and you want to make sure they look good. I would highly recommend this girl, not because she is my daughter, and she is, and I'm very proud of that. But I know how she thinks, and I know what matters to her. What would you like to say in closing, as far as reaching out to people and why they should check out again? Jennifer Marie Yakopin. It's Jennifer Marie Yakupin on Facebook. You can find her, Health and Beauty. She cuts hair and does her work at 74 Oak Spring Road in Washington. And again, her phone number, 724-249-6830. Anything else, Jen, that you want to shout out as we bring this to a close?
Just that I really do love what I do, and I try to accommodate every person, meet them where they're at, and I don't know much more than that. I just try to do my best, and I try to be easy to be with.
I think that says a lot, and I would have to believe that if I were sitting in your chair, I'd be pretty comfortable. So, yep. Well, listen, thanks for being with me, folks. My name's Tom Yakopin. This is the Tom Yakopin Podcast. You can find us pretty much everywhere. On Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, you name it. And we want to thank you for taking the time and invite, if you're a small business owner and you'd like to be featured, we want to tell the story of entrepreneurs like Jen and other small business owners, builders, movers, and shakers in the tri-state area to get your message out there and help you grow your business as we grow ours. I want to thank you for your time, and bye for now. Special thanks to West Penn Life and Health, one of our sponsors. You can find them online at westpennlife.com, specializing in affordable life, health, Medicare, and retirement solutions.